So I know most of you are here for the retreat, but we have a few people here in the audience, so thank you very much for coming to our very first evening of our Play Festival. Today we are going to present Victorian Vape by Andy Boyd, directed by Miranda Miller. Give a round of applause for Miranda. Yep. Miranda's also going to be reading stage directions. Tonight is a reading to experience a new script, to hear it, to have it a little bit up on its feet, but listening to the words, thinking about the themes of the play. And then we're very fortunate to be able to have a talk back tonight afterwards. We have Angie Morgan, who is in the audience here. Hello, she's a dramaturg, and she is going to help lead a talk back with Miranda where we can talk about some of the issues of the play, give some feedback. I want to let everyone know it's also being recorded by Orca Media, which is really great. Our playwright is not able to be with us here tonight, but we will be sending her the recording of the show and feedback that happens. And I'm just so happy and excited to have people here. I have one mistake on the program. Olivia is played by Adrienne Wade, and she's fabulous, and I'm sorry that I left her off the program, but please be aware that Olivia is a character in the play played by Adrienne Wade. So without further ado, we bring you Victorian Vape. Thank you. Enjoy.
Carrie enters Meredith and Wilson's house, an aging pink Victorian cottage in Fort Townsend, Washington. She's just finished a run and is wearing running clothes. Meredith and Wilson are sitting on the couch, which is covered in newspapers.
Hi, Nana.
Carrie, I didn't know you were visiting.
I live here now, remember?
Here in Port Townsend?
Here in your guest room.
But what if we have guests?
Well, you do. Me.
But you live here,
Well, yeah, that's right.
so you're not a guest then, are you?
You got me there.
Have you had breakfast?
We already ate.
I didn't eat.
Yeah, we ate together before my run.
Wilson, did we eat?
What?
Did we eat?
No, I'm not hungry.
See, I have to say everything twice.
At least.
Well, I'm a bit peckish myself, actually. Carrie, do you want something to eat?
No, I'm okay.
I admire how you've stayed so slender.
Thanks.
Why'd you laugh? What's funny?
Nothing. What do you got there, Wilson?
It's the darndest thing. My daughter sent it to me. It tells me the time of day and the date.
Oh, it's a clock.
No, it's a new device that tells the time of day and also the date.
Gotcha.
Very sophisticated piece of machinery. I'm sure I'll get it figured out in a minute or two.
Wilson was an engineer. Did you know that?
Yeah. Is there an instruction booklet anywhere?
I don't mean anything like that.
Carrie finds the instruction manual in the box and starts reading.
It says there's a remote. Have you seen that?
What?
A remote control?
For the TV?
No, for the... here it is. There you go. Wow, look at that. Time of date and the date.
Wow, Carrie, you figured it out.
You really shouldn't monkey around with something like this. It takes an engineer's touch.
Well, I think I managed it.
Beginner's luck. You ever think about studying engineering?
No, I studied English.
I ever tell you the story of my English course?
Yep, a bunch of times.
When I was at MIT, they wanted me to take some goddamn English class. Of course, I already knew everything they were planning to teach me. Besides, I grew up speaking the damn language, didn't I?
Sure.
But they had some general education requirements, so the first day I walked up to the teacher, recited the whole speech from Hamlet.
To be or not to be?
That's right, and I told him, listen, I'm pretty sure I can teach this goddamn course as well as you can, so I'm not gonna come to any of the lectures, I'll just turn in a paper at the end of the term. And that's what I did, and I passed.
Great story.
Got 3 words for you, MIT.
Oh yeah, sure.
Best school in the country. Get yourself a real job out of a place like that.
Yep, it's a great school, but I actually have a job. I work at Firewatch Press down at the fort, remember?
You should work for Amazon Kindle.
Okay, sure.
I can get any book in the world on my Kindle in minutes.
I'm not going to work for Amazon.
Why's that?
They're kind of destroying the publishing industry, actually.
Well, you just need to grab the bull by the horns. Walk in there and hand them your resume.
Well, I don't want to work there, so I don't think I'll be doing that.
Well, you need to show a little gumption. I'm talking grit, determination, hard work. The stuff your generation has no idea about.
Okay.
Shake the man's hand firmly and tell him exactly why he needs to hire you.
I actually don't need advice, Wilson. I'm doing fine on my own.
Where are you working now?
I just said I work at Firewatch Press. I do marketing. You have some of their books.
Those are Meredith's. I'm not one much for poetry. Did I ever tell you the story of my English course at MIT?
You actually have.
Well, they had some cockamamie requirement saying I had to take an English course.
Honey, let's talk about something else. Did I tell you about the interesting deer I saw?
I just read this fascinating biography. Did I tell you about that?
Yep.
Elon Musk. Now there's an inventor. He's a modern day Henry Ford. Built himself up from nothing.
Didn't his family own diamond mines?
Well, that's not the important part. Here's what the fellow did. Saw an opportunity for business, exploited it. That's what you've got to do. Find your niche and beat every other sucker to the top slot.
Wow, that's great advice.
Anyone can do it. You just got to find the right field.
Yeah, that's my problem. I thought the right field was small press publishing, but it was actually tech monopolies. I'll just start one of those and then I'll be all set.
If you need a letter of recommendation to MIT, I'd be happy to write it.
Thanks. Thanks so much. I'm gonna go for a walk.
A walk? At least stay for breakfast, dear.
No thanks. I'm good. Thanks, though. This has been fun. Let's have this exact conversation again tomorrow. Love it every time. Bye.
Love you, dear.
What?
Moron.
Carrie enters Victorian Vape, a nearby vape shop. Bell rings. Liana is behind the counter.
Welcome to Victorian Vape. What can I do you for?
Liana?
Holy shit, Carrie! Can I,
Yeah, for sure. Bring it in.
They hug. A bro hug that becomes something more tender before they release.
Fuck. Liana Dumman. How long's it been? 10 years?
12.
Fuck, really? No, yeah, that's right.
Summer after 8th grade?
Yeah. Sorry
It-
about...
Hey, whatever, it's fine.
No, but that was shitty. I should have said something instead of just disappearing.
Carrie, it's fine. You were summer people. I didn't expect you to stick around.
Okay. It's good to see you.
You too.
Do you still skateboard?
I do, actually. I don't have a car, so that's how I mostly get around. Small town.
That ass. Is that record store still open?
Quimper Sound? Yeah,
You turned me on to the Kinks there.
I remember that.
I always thought you were so cool.
I was. Fuck, what happened?
You still seem cool.
I work in a weed store.
You probably do other stuff too.
So you admit working in a weed store is lame.
Okay, no, it's also very cool. People like weed. It's very popular. But seriously, what do people our age actually do here? It's always only been the town my nana lives in.
There's lots to do. Some people hike, some people kayak. Me, I scuba.
Really?
Yeah, I was meant to be a porpoise. That's my true purpose in life.
That was an awful joke.
I've been saying it since I was a kid.
What's it like?
It's amazing. It's so quiet. It's like you're in another world. You're in a wetsuit, of course, because if you weren't, you'd get hypothermia in about 15 minutes. So your senses are all sort of dulled. Touch, hearing, smell. Sometimes the water leaks through your breathing apparatus and you get a spike of salt, but mostly you're floating. Water is so dark you can barely see past your hands. Pinprick of sunlight up at the surface, but mostly silence and darkness and cold.
Okay, see? That's cool.
Oh, we could go sometime if you want.
No thanks.
You afraid of the dark?
I'm afraid of most things.
That's no way to live.
It's a good way to not die.
Oh, sure.
Have you always lived here? Or didn't you move away or something?
For a while. But this sounds like a rubber band. The further away you get, the harder it slams you back.
For sure.
How long are you back for?
I'm not sure exactly. I actually got a job at that poetry press by the fort. But also my Nana's still here, so I'm sort of keeping tabs on her as well.
Cool.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, I love her so much, but her memory's going. But she's the best. But her husband, it's like his memory issues have smashed down whatever filter he had left. He's very critical. And he'll say the same hurtful things every day.
Like what?
Like how if I'd studied engineering, I'd be less of a failure.
Are you a failure?
I don't think so. I think I'm in a transitional phase.
How so?
Well, I'm transitioning, actually. Or preparing to.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm transgender. Why, can't you tell? Joke.
You're a girl.
Yeah, well, a woman. I think. I'm pretty sure. I read this book called Conundrum. It's a memoir by this trans woman from the 70s, and she made it sound really good. And before I was even finished, I realized I was trans. And I told my girlfriend, she broke up with me. In a very sweet, supportive way, but she's straight, mostly. Or at any rate, she didn't want to support me in my transition, which I understand.
That blows, actually.
Well, sure, yeah, it does, but also, I get it. You start dating someone as one person, and then if they become like a totally different person,
That's what people do all the time.
people don't transition all the time.
Yeah, they do. Transitioning into a teenager, into an adult, transitioning into or out of that job, the relationship, that city. Even physically, your body is constantly shedding and replacing molecules, exchanging atoms and particles with the world around you. You're not an object, you're a process.
That's like the stoniest thing I've ever heard.
Dude, I work in a weed store. Wait, I'm sorry.
No worries.
I call everyone dude.
Yeah, I know what I look like.
No, I mean it. I know that's a big deal for people like you, and I'm sorry. Let me apologize.
I forgive you, but also the apology thing gets old. You can just correct yourself and keep moving.
Good to know. So, drugs?
Drugs!
Are you trying to party? You trying to chill?
Chill, I think. I'm not a big weed person historically, but I've heard it helps make boring stuff more bearable.
You're trying to get high so you can tolerate your grandma.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but yeah, both of them. They just say the same stuff over and over again. His loop is a little longer. Like, it resets about once a day. But for her, it's every 5 minutes. I love my Nana, but I just think this would be easier if I was high a lot of the time.
Fair. This is a good starter brand.
Thanks. And hey, like, would you want to hang out sometime?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Let me give you my number.
I think I already have it.
Oh, crazy.
You know, in a way, I'm not that surprised about your whole gender thing.
Really? How so?
Let's see if you get there on your own.
What do you mean?
Welcome to Victorian Vape. What can I do you for?
What did she mean?
Carrie calls her mother, Olivia, on the phone. It rings. Carrie looks nervous.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Carrie. I didn't think I'd hear from you.
Yeah, well, I'm reaching out.
I told you I needed time.
I know, and we don't have to talk about that if you don't want to. I just thought I should update you about Nana.
Okay.
She's much worse than she was at Christmas. She forgets if she's eaten or not, so then she makes breakfast 3 times in a row. She doesn't know what month or even year it is. She recognizes me, thank God, but I'm worrying soon she won't. She keeps forgetting I live here, even though I've been staying with them for 3 weeks.
Thanks, honey.
Don't you think we should do something?
What do you propose?
Aren't there people who can come check on them? Like nurses?
There are, and I've tried to hire one, but they sent her away on her first day. Wilson told her, "Thank you for coming, but if you come back again tomorrow, I will call the police."
Whoa.
They are adults, and short of putting them in conservatorship, there isn't much we can do to provide them help that they don't want.
So what?
So we visit as much as we can. You're there now, that's huge. Wilson's daughters just bought an apartment in town, they'll be around. We'll try to cover as much of the calendar as we can and hope whatever happens, happens when one of us is there.
That's the plan?
That's the best we can do. I'm very grateful that you've been here the past few weeks, but that doesn't make you an expert on their care. Did you know Nana didn't have a legal will? Or that Wilson hasn't been paying their homeowner's insurance? I have sat on the phone for hours with the bank, with hospitals, with the IRS, because they stopped filing taxes years ago. You might not see everything I'm doing for them, but I am involved. Far more than anyone else in this family.
Oh. I guess I didn't know that.
Well, why should you? I don't do it for the applause. She's my mother. I'm her daughter. It's just what we do.
I'm sure she appreciates that.
She, of course, doesn't even remember it.
That must be hard. What?
I always say that to students when I don't know what to say.
When you say whatever happens, happens, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I can tell you the nightmare scenarios my brain manufactures. One of them slips in the bathtub and breaks their head open. One of them forgets the stove is on and burns the house down. One of them gets in a car accident and kills them both, or worse, someone else.
Okay, I get the idea.
When it happens, we'll know it's time to move them to the next stage, forcibly, if we have to.
Well, can't we get them into some programs then? Like, schedule some activities to get them out of the house?
I appreciate your concern, hon, but I have thought of that, and I have tried. I've been dealing with their decline for years. They are very stubborn individuals.
I think Wilson's memory is going as well.
I know, honey.
Are you sure you don't want to talk?
Have you told her?
No,
Why not?
because she wouldn't remember. She wouldn't understand.
Well, I'm jealous of her, in a way. She gets the old you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go now then.
Love you, honey.
Love you.
Carrie and Meredith are at a restaurant.
Well, this place looks good. Ah, look at the view. I just love the water this time of day.
Mom said this was one of your favorite spots.
Really? That's odd. Never been here before.
She said you liked the chicken Caesar.
Well, I always like a chicken Caesar.
Great, I'll get that for you. So, I was thinking I could maybe record our conversation, if that's okay?
Record it? Why?
Well, I just realized I don't know many of your stories, or I know the version I remember, but I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly.
Carrie, I'm not going anywhere.
I know. Still though, remember when I was a kid, you'd record cassette tapes of old nursery rhymes and Dr. Seuss stories, Bio Baby Bunting and Scarlet Ribbons?
If I live to be 100, I will never know from where. Scarlet ribbons, scarlet ribbons, scarlet ribbons for her hair.
Yeah, I thought it could be like that.
Okay, I guess.
So, you were born in Gary, right?
No, I was born in Mitchell.
Really?
Mitchell, South Dakota, September 10th, 1939, a week before Hitler invaded Poland.
So that was your childhood, the war years?
Sure, till I was 6.
What was that like?
It was thrilling and scary. I'd look under my bed for Nazis every night.
Really?
Oh, yes. I thought they were like the goblins from my storybooks. I thought they were going to kidnap me and they were going after our family specifically. I had 3 half-brothers in the war and they all came back.
You had half-brothers?
Yes. There were 7 kids from my dad's first marriage and 5 from the second. I was in the second batch.
I only ever heard about 5.
Well, you know your great aunt Melinda, don't you? She passed not too long ago.
Do you remember what year?
Well, it was just when I moved from Minneapolis, so 1997?
I was born in 2000.
What? No, you weren't. Quit joking.
But you grew up mostly in Gary, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
What was that like?
Gary was wonderful. It was a real melting pot. Just on our block, we had Polish people, Irish, Italians, Russians.
So just white people.
On our block. But I never heard any prejudice when I was growing up.
Really? This was the 1940s.
We were a very liberal household. My mother worshipped FDR like he was Christ himself.
So they were Democrats?
Fervently so.
Why?
Well, they were for the working people. Simple as that. Oh, this is a good story. You'll like this. So when I was in 5th grade, we moved into a new home. And hanging in the closet was a Ku Klux Klan robe.
Oh my God!
And my father gathered all of us children into the den and he held it up and he said, "We don't tolerate this sort of nonsense." And he threw it in the fireplace.
Huh.
What?
Well, that doesn't sound like the person my mom had always described.
What did she tell you?
She said he was an angry, bitter man. She said he almost disowned Aunt Alice for going to prom with a Jewish kid.
Well, sure. They expected us to go with Catholics, but that was religion, not prejudice. I went with a Polish boy, John Lewandowski, for all of senior year, Dad didn't bat an eye. Now that I look back, I do think John was gay.
Why do you say that?
Well, I'll just say his kisses were not very persuasive.
Ah,
But a perfect gentleman. We went dancing, we went to the movies, and he never once tried anything funny. He was very respectful, sort of suspiciously respectful.
okay.
Of course, there was prejudice in town.
How so?
Well, when I was in middle school, they decided to integrate the schools. Now, that was no problem for the younger grades, but in the high school, there was a race riot. I was shocked that such a thing could happen in Gary. White students actually blocked the doors to stop African American students from coming to class. And some of them even beat up African Americans. It was like something you'd see in Alabama.
I've never heard about this.
Oh, it was awful. After the riot, the mayor had a great idea. Bring in a speaker to talk to the students about tolerance. But it had to be someone everyone would listen to. It couldn't just be anyone. And do you know who they chose?
Who?
Frank Sinatra.
What?
Yep. Frank Sinatra spoke at a school assembly, and he talked all about his friendship with Sammy Davis Jr. and how it was important to put aside ethnic differences because at the end of the day, we're all Americans.
Wow, that's nuts.
It was pretty special.
Can you tell me more about your dad? Mom said he never really talked much.
No, he didn't. A man of few words, hard worker. He was a contractor by trade, so he wasn't around a lot. Worked a lot of nights and weekends. Plus, with 12 kids, it was hard to find time with him. One Saturday, he asked if any of us wanted to go to a wrestling match with him, and I was so desperate to spend time with him that I said I'd go.
What, like professional wrestling?
No, it was just local guys in the back of a bar, floor covered with sawdust.
Did you like it?
I hated it. Are you kidding? But I got to spend time with my dad. He could be very affectionate sometimes, but he had that dark Celtic temperament. Sometimes he'd just sit in his chair muttering to himself in Welsh.
Was he from Wales?
No, his folks were. My grandparents spoke Welsh pretty much all the time.
I thought we were Irish.
On my mother's side, yes. I never knew what he was saying. Those strange, loping syllables. What was going on inside his head? I never knew. I guess I never really knew him. Fathers weren't expected to share of themselves. We were fed and clothed and disciplined. Meanwhile, he'd drink and mutter to himself in a language none of us knew. I think about that a lot. Maybe when I get to heaven, I'll ask him what he was saying.
Carrie and Meredith enter the house and turn on the entryway lights.
Oh, handsome husband of mine, where are you? We brought you leftovers.
Wilson staggers into the room, still in darkness.
Is that you, Meredith?
Where? There's my handsome man.
Carrie turns on the main lights, revealing Wilson fully. His shirt is untucked, he's unsteady on his feet, and he is bleeding from the head.
Jesus! Wilson, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
He
Oh.
crosses toward the couch, trips, and falls face first.
Oh, fuck!
Honey, are you all right?
I'm fine.
What?
I'm okay.
Wilson, you're bleeding. What happened?
Oh, this is nothing. I just tripped a little coming up the back steps.
You had a fall.
I tripped. So it was a loose step. I was trying to fix it. 'Cause
Has this happened before?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Oh, fuck, oh, fuck.
Let's try to get you upright, okay?
Yeah, that might be good.
Let me just stay here.
I am not letting you spend the night on the couch in jeans.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, hon.
I'm just gonna lie down and rest here.
No, we can't let him fall asleep.
It's bedtime.
If he hit his head, he could have permanent brain damage. Or is that a stroke?
He didn't have a stroke, did he?
How the hell should I know?
Sherry, I'm scared. What should we do?
I'll call an ambulance.
The hospital room the next day. Meredith sits at Wilson's bedside. Judith enters in scrubs.
Hiya, Meredith.
Hi, Judith.
You remembered.
Of course I did. You're my neighbor.
That's right. Good. But he's still napping?
Yep, he was awake a bit this morning, said his head felt like a ringing gong.
Well, that makes sense.
Is he okay? Did he have a stroke?
No, but he does have a concussion and a broken ankle.
Goodness.
What's maybe more worrying is what caused it. His blood alcohol level was 0.25. That's over 3 times the legal limit for driving.
He wasn't driving, was he?
No. I'm surprised he could walk. He drank a frankly astonishing amount of whiskey.
He usually only has 1 or 2.
That's what we're worried about. We think this may have something to do with his memory.
Wilson is sharp as a tack.
He's very sharp for a 95-year-old. But I'm worried about you two. Memory loss is very normal in people of your age.
My memory is fine. I can still remember my childhood in Gary, Indiana.
Can you remember what you had for breakfast?
Cereal.
Okay. Got a minute to talk?
No, I have a very busy social calendar. Yes.
Are you taking your heart medication?
Yes.
How often?
Every morning.
You're supposed to take it every night, too.
Oh, yes. Of course. Yeah. I do that also.
Have you had any palpitations?
No, I don't think so.
Any difficulty breathing?
Nope.
Even after walking upstairs or anything like that?
Nope.
Do you leave the house much?
Oh, sure. I go to choir practice, lunch every Tuesday at the Bayview, exercise for health here at the hospital.
Meredith, you haven't been to exercise for health since before COVID.
That's not.
I'm sorry.
How would you know?
They take attendance.
Well, sometimes I'm late, but I do go every Wednesday.
Meredith, I think for many years you had a very active, very regular schedule. And during COVID, all of that fell away. But your memories from the past few years are very hazy, so you fill in with your old habits. But I don't think you leave your house at all. Certainly before Carrie came back, you didn't.
Judith, I did not invite you over here to insult me.
Over where?
To my house.
We're at the hospital.
I know that.
It's okay. This is a natural part of aging.
I'm still very sharp. That's why I stopped going to exercise for health. I'm not like some fogey like the rest of them. I'm getting older, like all of us, but I'm in wonderful health.
Then will you let me schedule you for a full checkup?
No,
Memory test?
my memory is fine.
Who's the president, Meredith?
Biden.
No, honey, it's Trump.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Meredith, I have spent 20 years as a nurse in a town where the average age is 60. I have seen many patients deal with the challenges of aging. And the ones who age most successfully are the ones with a clear understanding of the level of care that is appropriate for where they are on that particular journey.
You mean putting me in a home?
As your nurse, as your neighbor, as your friend, it is not my place to say, but I do believe you and your family should have the relevant information. I have an opening this Friday at 11 a.m. I can even pick you up if you'd like. Would that work for you?
Okay.
Terry sits in the hospital waiting room. Olivia enters.
Mom!
How is he?
Mom, this isn't good.
No, it isn't.
Has he had a problem before?
Not that I know of.
I'm really worried about them.
Me too, honey.
I was talking to Judith, though, their nurse, and apparently it could be much worse. Some people's memory issues change their personality in really awful ways. But even if she can't remember much, she's still the same her.
Yeah.
What?
She was always a wonderful grandmother to you. All you need from her is that same affirmation she's always given. That fire hose of unconditional love. But she's my mother. She was my best friend for 60 years. We talk on the phone every single day. Every major decision, every turning point and milestone in my life, she was there, a constant support. And now that support has crumbled. I mean, we still talk every day. Now she has no recollection of yesterday's conversation. Of course, she's still happy to hear from me, still her lovely, caring person. But she can't support me anymore. And there's nobody I would rather talk to about this than with her. And weigh the different options, deliberate carefully over every pro and con. But she can't do that anymore. It's funny. When I was a kid, I was always trying to boss her around. And she'd kneel down to my level and say, I am the parent, you are the child. And now,
I'm glad you're here.
thank you.
How long can you stay?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you want to talk?
Sure. I read that book, Conundrum.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
She was very brave,
Yeah, she was.
serving in World War II, climbing Everest.
I think that's what a lot of trans women were like back then. Dominable. You had to be.
And lovely prose. It made me worry. I underlined something. She says, is mine only a transient phenomenon? Between the dogmatism of the last century, when men were men and women were ladies, and the eclecticism of the next, when citizens will be free to live in the gender role they prefer. I hope so. For every transsexual who grasps that prize, identity, 10, perhaps 100 discover it to be only a mirage in the end, so that their latter quandary is hardly less terrible than the first. She wrote that in 1974.
Yeah.
It seems like it was the right choice for her, but I mean, you didn't feel this way your whole life, did you?
Not consciously.
Well, you didn't huddle under the dining room table wishing you were a girl.
I did dress up in Nana's dresses.
Children play dress up. I'm just worried that you've built up transitioning as this thing that's going to solve all of your problems, as if identity were an equation that could be solved for X. But it's not. And even if she says that many people who think they'll be happier after they transition aren't.
I think I will be, though.
But you don't know that.
But you never know, do you? All my life you've told me to do what makes me happy. But of course, that's what everyone's trying to do. The trouble is, nobody actually knows. I feel as sure of this as I ever have about anything. Which is to say about 85% sure.
Oh, honey. Don't you think you should wait a while and try to get that number a little higher? I mean, how long has it been? 6 months?
Yeah.
You were my son for 25 years.
No, I wasn't.
Well, that's just... You were, honey. You were. That's what we called you. That's what you called yourself, and you never gave any indication of anything else. I work with children. I see trans kids every day. You weren't like them at that age.
Mom, I was their age 15 years ago. It was a whole different world. I had no idea being trans was a possibility.
And if you'd known, you think you would have?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Well, in any event, you didn't.
Because I didn't know how you'd react. Or rather, because I did. Exactly like this. You were so committed to this reactionary binary view of gender.
Excuse me? No, I was not. Honey, I am a feminist. I loved that you were sensitive. I loved that you noticed beauty, that you liked art and music and theater. I saw you becoming a new, different kind of man than the ones I grew up around. You weren't domineering, you didn't talk down to women. I adored you for that.
That past tense again.
I still adore you, honey. But if you're going to insist that that version of you is dead, then yes, I will speak about him in the past tense.
I'm still me. Nothing has changed, really.
Are you on hormones?
Not yet.
Good. They can make it impossible to have children, you know.
Mom, I'm the trans one. I know.
It breaks my heart to hear you know that you want to close that option for yourself.
Well, I could go to a sperm bank before I start. I could adopt. There are other options.
I just don't see why you couldn't just be a better, more sensitive, more empathetic version of a man.
Because I don't want to be.
Can you try to describe to me what you're feeling? Not what you want, but what you feel.
Okay. I feel discomfort. I feel revulsion towards my body. I feel like I'm playing a role I never asked to play, and I don't have the script, and the stage is on fire. I feel depressed. I feel stuck. I feel like my whole life is waiting for me on the other side of transitioning. And if I don't do it, I'll never get there.
Okay?
What?
Well, it's just, you've always had difficulty with transitions.
Okay.
I mean, look, you graduated 3 years ago, top of your class, magna cum laude, and then you watched all of your friends get fancy jobs in finance or tech, and you chose something a little less remunerative, which I think is great. But then your relationship with Jamie broke apart.
Yes, please, remind me of all my failures.
I'm just saying it makes sense. You want something different. You want a fresh start. That's why you're reverting to your childhood. That's why you're hiding in a place you associate with being small, your grandmother's house in tiny Port Townsend. That's no way to grow.
Mom, this is where I found a job.
I know, it's also where you were looking.
Mom, you know I hate it when you psychoanalyze me.
Honey, I am just paying attention. I'm a developmental psychologist. I recognize these patterns.
It's actually really beautiful here, and there's more young people than I remembered. There's a little music scene. There's some really cool galleries downtown.
Okay. But think about it. I mean, is this the place you can become who you need to be?
But you don't want me to be that person.
Do you? I mean, are you going to tell her? Or were you planning on hiding your breasts under several layers of baggy sweaters? I mean, what exactly is your plan?
I don't really have a plan.
Yeah.
I just needed somewhere to stay. And I couldn't stay with you. I'm sorry. I can't keep having this conversation, versions of this conversation. I can't coexist with your constant questions. And yeah, I haven't told Nana because I have no idea how she would react. I just need one thing in my life to stay normal.
I'm sorry you feel that way. You know you'll always be welcome at home.
But if I'm not welcome as myself, then I'm not really welcome, am I?
Honey, I am trying. I'm trying to understand. Really, I am.
Well, then maybe that's the problem. Stop trying to understand. Love me for who I am. Love me as your daughter. Maybe understanding will come.
I had better check on Nana.
Okay.
You look exhausted. Maybe get some sleep and see how you feel tomorrow.
Okay.
We're gonna take a 10-minute
Whoa, Yana, it looks just like I remember it.
I haven't changed much.
Your mom used to make us peanut butter and honey sandwiches in the kitchen over there. She cut off the crust and squeezed the edges together so the honey wouldn't run out. And the stained glass windows. I remember being so obsessed with those. I thought only churches were allowed to have them.
Well, this house actually was a church.
Really?
That's why all the ceilings are so high.
Huh. I guess that makes sense. Your house is really nice.
Yeah, I guess. My parents bought it before I was born, before this town got expensive. 30-year fixed mortgage on 2 teacher salaries got you a lot in the 90s.
Yeah, for sure. Are they home now?
No,
Do you still have your N64?
I do actually.
You'll probably still beat me at Smash Brothers.
You got me on a few rounds if I'm remembering correctly.
Maybe a few.
You want to smoke?
Sure. Is that from work?
This? No, I don't touch that corporate bullshit.
The bullshit you sold me?
That stuff's okay, but I only smoke good old-fashioned PT Forest Bud.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Jesus.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
If you're a girl, why don't you dress like one?
You mean why don't I subject myself to the ridicule of a world that hates and fears me?
Yeah, that.
Well, I'm living here with my Nana. She doesn't know and wouldn't understand and probably wouldn't even remember. And I know once I start visibly transitioning, it's going to get a whole lot harder. When I realized I was trans, I had like the best week of my life. Just walking around New York with a huge, stupid smile on my face. Felt like I was falling in love with myself for the first time. And then I started telling people, and you heard that story.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone tells you it's hard, and everyone tells you it's worth it. And I do eventually want to explore that side of myself more, but I'm just not ready.
Okay. I can respect that.
I know that on the inside I am a woman, but I also know what I look like. I tried on a dress for the first time 2 months ago, and I looked completely fucking ridiculous. What?
So you really don't remember?
Remember what?
When we were kids?
Liana, what?
I used to dress you up in my dresses all the time.
Like when we were little kids?
Like until we stopped hanging out.
No.
Yes, we'd have fucking tea parties and wear tiaras and heels.
No. Are you sure?
Girl, yes.
What?
Even when we were kids, you didn't play like the boys. You didn't roughhouse or throw a fit when you didn't get your way. Even then, you wanted to play with Barbie dolls and My Little Ponies. Is this not jogging your memory at all?
I must have blocked it out.
Are you serious? This happened dozens of times.
But that's impossible.
No, it's not. Look, we were kids. We didn't know what it meant, but now we can see that.
But that means this didn't just happen this year. The clues were there from the start, and I just didn't put them together. But they were there. And that means I totally could have. Oh, this sucks.
Wait, how is this a bad thing?
Because I should have known. Everything would have been easier if I'd started 10 years ago. But instead I let my shoulders get broad and my belly get fat. And I think my hair is starting to recede. If I'd only held on to those memories, I could probably be passing by now.
25 is not old.
I lost so much time.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, sure, if you started 10 years ago, you'd be 10 years into the process by now, but you would have also been a 15-year-old trans girl. Like, I'm sure that's traumatic for all sorts of other reasons. Teenagers are dickheads.
True.
Still nothing?
Nothing. If those memories are still there, very deep. Why can't I remember anything? But I do remember being drawn to femininity until the other boys beat me out of it. Literally beat me until I conformed.
I remember that.
You do?
Yeah. That's why you wouldn't play with me anymore. Somewhere after 8th grade, you came back to visit your Nana, and it was like you didn't know me.
Shit. I'm really sorry.
Hey, you were a kid. It hurt at the time a lot, but I'm not going to live the rest of my life holding grudges against a 13-year-old.
Thanks.
And you just became another asshole boy. I'd see you at the fair, walking along the water, you and your dude friends punching each other in the arm. I kept hoping you'd grow out of it, but you never came back.
I got busy. I was a teenager. I didn't want to spend my whole summer with my Nana.
I get that, but when we were little, we were girls together. We could be again.
Judith, Lydia, Meredith, gather in the hospital.
Okay, big guy. You seem to be recovering on pace, so we've decided to clear you for release. Just remember to stay off that ankle for the next 6 weeks, all right?
I can still walk down to the store and get the paper, can't I?
No, Wilson, no weight on it at all. That's why we've got you this wheelchair.
Carrie can push you wherever you need to go.
Over my dead body.
Honey, we need you to rest up and heal.
Well, there's still that loose stair leading up to the back porch. There's leaves stuck in the gutters. And the rhododendrons need trimming. Who's going to do all that?
Carrie can do it if you show him how.
Carrie's not really the practical type, if you don't mind my saying so.
He's a smart kid, and he can learn.
Do you have Mom's results yet?
I was just getting to that. Meredith? Remember that memory test I had you take?
Points off if I say no, right?
Is that a joke?
I remember.
Well, we've analyzed the results and there's no other way to say it. You have Alzheimer's.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm still pretty sharp, though. Aren't I?
Well, in some ways, yes. Your long-term memory is good. Your mood appears stable. But your cognitive processing and short-term memory are around the 20th percentile.
She's got Alzheimer's?
Almost certainly. It's extremely difficult to be sure while the patient is still alive, but all the signs are there.
So, what do we do?
We can provide therapies and medicine that can slow the progression of the disease.
Just slow it down.
That's right. There is no cure. I'm so sorry.
But mine isn't too far progressed, is it?
Meredith, I'm sorry to say this, but it has.
Mom, I've been trying to get you tested for years. Your memory is slipping.
There's nothing shameful about it. As I said, this is very normal for someone your age.
I'm very young for my age.
You were. For a very long time.
I've seen other people. They repeat themselves every 5 minutes. They can't remember what they had for breakfast. I'm not like that.
Mom, what did you have for breakfast?
Don't talk down to me. I am the parent. You are the child.
Mom, I live 1,000 miles away from you.
Whose fault is that?
I can't be everything you need. You need a higher level of care.
You mean a home.
Maybe. I think it's worth considering. You have lived independently for many years, longer than many people, and you have a beautiful home that you're right to be proud of. And for many of those years, you were a pillar of the community. You have cared for other people, whether your children, your grandchildren, your students, your peers in Port Townsend, for many years. It's time to let someone take care of you.
Read my lips. No effing way.
That's right.
I understand your hesitance.
I'm not a vegetable.
Nobody's saying you are.
People go into those places and they don't come out. It's a death house.
You're not dying. That isn't what I'm saying.
Well, how long do I have? What's the prognosis?
That's difficult to say. Usually when someone with Alzheimer's dies, something else is the immediate culprit.
We don't have to listen to this. Come on, Meredith. We're getting out of here.
We're getting a second opinion.
Judith, you're a wonderful neighbor. I'm sorry you're such a piss-poor nurse.
Wilson!
It's okay. I've heard much worse. Wilson, you broke your ankle.
I'm going to call my daughters, and they're going to spring us out of this joint. You can't keep us here against our will.
We're not prisoners.
I love you, Mom.
What?
I love you.
I know that, dear. Don't change the subject.
This is the subject. I love you, and I only want what's best for you.
But you don't know what's best for me. You're just a kid.
Mom, I'm 54.
What? Oh, stop this. You're trying to trick me. Stop joking around.
I'm not joking. It's 2025. You're 85 years old. I'm 54.
When your father comes home, you just watch out.
Dad's been dead for 35 years.
Dad's not dead. We're going to the wrestling together. And you can't come. This is my special time with Dad. You all say, I'm the baby, I'm the baby. Well, I'm not a baby anymore, so stop acting like I am.
Let's get you home, Meredith. I think we could all use rest.
At Leanna's house, Carrie tries on a long red dress.
I don't know. I don't think I like this one.
Really? Why?
I mean, I wish I could pull it off.
I think you do.
What? No way. It's too,
What?
I don't know, bold, flashy. I really don't like calling attention to myself.
Carrie, you're a 6-foot-tall trans woman. You're going to call attention to yourself.
Yeah.
I think you look really pretty.
Oh, cocky as fuck.
Well, yeah, it's still early, but once you go on girl pills and take care of that stubble, I think you're going to be really cute.
Huh. I could actually do this.
Totally.
Oh, fuck.
How is everything bad with you?
I'm just really fucking scared.
Of what?
Of getting fucking mugged! Or sent to a prison camp! I'm not sure if you've noticed, but trans people are under attack right now. And I'm walking right into that firefight.
I have noticed.
And even if it weren't for that, what if I transition and it doesn't go well? What if I look like a man in a dress for the rest of my life? What if I never look like the woman I feel like on the inside?
You could get surgeries. You could get really good at makeup.
I'm not looking for solutions, Liana. Some trans women just never pass. Never. And that's a harsh reality, but it's true. Some trans women live their whole lives as freaks, as mockeries. I see trans women sometimes and I think, God, if I knew for sure I would look like her, I wouldn't even bother.
Wow. If you weren't trans, that would be an incredibly transphobic thing to say.
Yeah, well, I am afraid of trans women. I'm afraid of the trans woman I am. I'm afraid of this desire that will either consume me or kill me. I'm afraid of transitioning and I'm afraid of not transitioning. And unfortunately, those are the only two options.
Harry, I think you need to calm down. This is still early stages. Let's focus on right now. Look at yourself.
I can't.
I think you'll find that you can. Come on. Look at the pretty girl in the mirror.
Oh, fuck, I love this dress.
Wilson sits on the couch reading a newspaper. Meredith enters.
What do you say we have a little cream?
We had some already.
We did?
Yep, about an hour ago.
Oh, I'll put it back in the carton then.
You already spooned it out?
Yep.
Well then, might as well eat it.
Great. French vanilla or vanilla bean?
Bean.
You want a glass of whiskey?
I'm off whiskey.
For good?
Yep.
Well, that's a cause for celebration. You know, it's not the worst thing for us. It's got calcium. We need it at our age. How's your ankle?
You remember.
It's in a brace.
Oh, it's okay. Doc said I shouldn't take my walk to the grocery store for the paper.
That paper, the one you're holding in your hand?
Yep.
Huh. I'm kind of losing my mind a little bit, aren't I?
Not your mind. Just your memory.
Well, that's a pretty big part, though, don't you think?
Could be. My daughter's always telling me I spend too much in the past. Be present, she says. Now the present's pretty much all we have. Maybe we're enlightened.
If I do lose my mind,
Meredith.
if I do, will you still love me?
What kind of a stupid question is that?
No, it's a real question. When we married, I was pretty with it. And cute, too.
You're still cute.
Men used to whistle at me when I walked down the street.
When were we married? When you were 60?
Yes, and flirt with me at the store. You never saw. They didn't do it around you, but you weren't the only customer on the market.
But I'm the one who took you home, aren't I?
You were already 70 at the time. Everyone said I was crazy marrying so much older. They thought I'd have to take care of you in your dotage.
You do. Just this week, you've done a whole lot for me.
Have I?
You're like Florence Nightingale.
Oh, is she still around?
She died in 1910.
Oh. But really, though, if it gets to be worse, much worse, if I can't even recognize that gorgeous face of yours, you'll still love me then?
I made a promise to, didn't I?
So that's it? Just your duty? Just your word?
Meredith, I've loved you for going on 30 years. My first wife used to say I didn't know how to love. Hell, maybe I didn't. But I love you. They say learning new things late in life helps keep the brain young. Maybe that's why my memory's still a good bit sharper than yours. In the twilight of my years, I've learned how to love.
I have never heard you talk like that. So romantic.
Well, I've been risking it more and more every time you ask me these stupid questions.
I've asked before.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that must be hard on you.
Well, it's part of my promise. Your brain keeps running over the same ruts, things it's not quite sure of. My love for you seems to be one of them. Well, I'm determined to smooth that over. If I'm lucky, I'll get fixed permanently. But if I have to keep on telling you how much I love you every day for the rest of my life, it'll take to get you to know it, then I'll do that for you.
You know what I'd like? A little spot of ice cream.
That sounds great, Meredith. That sounds downright fun.
Carrie and Olivia are on a walk by the fort, in woods that occupy the former site of the barracks and batteries. Carrie is wearing a different, more everyday dress. They emerge into a clearing and take in the view.
God, it's beautiful here. Living in New York, I forgot that air could actually smell good. Just like the air itself.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
I always loved playing here as a kid. All the weird moss-covered concrete rooms, hidden passages, rusty metal doors. They built this when? World War II?
Oh no, much before that. It was more like 1890s.
Oh, wow. Is that like Seattle?
No, that's Vancouver Island.
Oh, wow. I never realized Canada was so close.
We took the ferry to Victoria every summer.
Well, yeah, but that was like 3 hours, right?
More like 90 minutes.
Oh.
You know, it's not as unusual as I thought it would be.
What?
Seeing you like this.
Wow, Mom. That was almost a compliment.
I am trying.
I know, Mom.
Really, though, you seem good. You seem lighter.
Well, I lost about 30 pounds.
Oh, that's not what I mean. Your soul seems lighter. You seem at peace.
Thanks. I definitely feel anxious and depressed and terrified of everything. But I think you're also right. I actually feel present in my body. I feel like I've finally arrived.
30 pounds?
And of course, that's the part you focus on.
Well, I read something that said I should talk to you like I would talk to my cisgender daughter. And if a cisgender daughter of mine suddenly lost a shocking amount of weight, I would ask follow-up questions. Like, are you being safe?
Yes, Mom.
You're eating enough?
Yeah, I'm just cutting down on snacks, and I've been running more. Everyone on Reddit says that it's easier if you start estrogen when you're pretty thin. It helps things look more proportionate.
Okay.
What?
I mean, it just concerns me that you decide to be a woman and the first thing you try to do is to shrink yourself. There's obviously nothing wrong with exercise, but you should be doing it out of love for your body and gratitude for all that it gives you, not because you're chasing some impossible beauty standard.
Right, but basically all women hate their bodies, right?
No! Some women have spent years deprogramming their brain from the conditioning of the patriarchy. Some women think about far more interesting things than whether or not they're thin enough.
Got it. Message received.
I was reading about women like you online, and there was such an emphasis on self-hatred, on hating your body, hating your voice. And of course, so many trans women deal with depression and suicide. But you've never been like that, right?
Yeah, I have.
Really?
Not for a while. Not now. But yeah. Living in a body that feels alien to you is depressing. It's exhausting. And the thought that I could so easily release myself from all that pain, it It definitely occurred to me.
Oh, honey. It breaks my heart to hear.
I know. That's why I never told you.
So you've always known?
No. For the longest time, I had no idea why I was feeling this way. Like I was floating through life, never really there.
Oh, I've felt that way.
You have?
Yeah, you're describing dissociation. It's a very common depression symptom.
You've been depressed?
Oh, honey, we really need to talk more.
Like when?
You know, when I was married to your father, for one. There were many nights I lay awake hating myself for not leaving earlier. But one day I realized that if I left that day, a year from then, I'd be celebrating 1 year of independence. And 4 years after that, I'd be free for 5, and 5 more years would be a whole decade living my life for myself. And the only way I could ever be that woman was by telling your father that I couldn't stay a minute longer. It was hard. It was fucking hard. But it gave me my life.
Huh.
That didn't traumatize you too much, did we?
You mean the divorce? No, not at all. The marriage, well...
I'm so sorry, honey. I know it wasn't easy.
No.
Looking back now, it seems obvious that so many of your conflicts were about gender. He wanted you to be a miniature of himself, and any deviation from that was seen as rebellion.
Yep.
I tried to let you know when I disagreed with him, which I wondered about. I'm sure that was confusing for you.
Yeah, it was. But confusion isn't a bad thing. I think it helped me realize that his opinions weren't the capital T truth. That there was more than one way to be a person.
I tried to protect you from him as much as I could.
Yeah. And most of the time you did.
And Carrie, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm not even sure you need to be forgiven. I'm not even sure you did anything wrong. But I forgive you either way.
Have you forgiven him?
We don't really talk these days.
Well, you don't need to tell him he's forgiven, if you don't want to. Sometimes forgiveness just means letting go of the bitterness and letting yourself move on.
Yeah. I could try that.
Has he apologized for anything?
No. Oh, wait. Yeah. A few years ago he said, "Carrie, I want to say sorry for something. You were always so bad at sports, and that was so frustrating to me."
He apologized that you were bad at sports?
He did.
That is insane.
Yep.
I got a ticket. I'm leaving on Saturday.
No. Really?
Yeah, I have to get back to work.
I know. I just felt like we were finally getting somewhere.
Well, let's let this be a new start for us. Let's keep the lines open. I want us to talk.
I want that too. And now the only person in this whole town who really knows who I am is Liana. And
Liana?
oh yeah, I didn't tell you. I've been hanging out with Liana again.
Oh, God, that poor girl.
What do you mean?
You don't know?
What do you mean?
At Liana's house on her front porch.
you tell me?
Didn't I? Gee, I wonder, why didn't I tell you the worst fucking thing about me?
Wait, that's not what
Yeah?
I mean.
Look, I know how this goes. I've been doing this for 9 years. You tell me it's not my fault, but you don't really believe it. Your eyes go dark, and then I never hear from you again. I get it. Don't worry, I fully understand.
Liana, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just surprised. I loved them. They were like second parents to me.
Then why didn't you ever call? Why didn't you check in? Why didn't you ask about them more than one time since you got here?
You're right. I'm sorry.
I was really enjoying our time together. When I'm with you, I feel like a kid again. I feel how I did before everything went to shit, and I didn't want to lose that. But everyone in this town knows what happened, and it was killing me that you might find out from someone else before I told you, and
Whatever happened, you're still you. You're a good person.
you don't know that.
I think I really do.
You know whatever headline version you heard from your mom, is that right?
Then tell me. If that's what you want.
I can't look at you when I say this, is that okay?
Sure.
So, we stopped being friends around like 13, right? And shortly after that, I got into punk, which was great, really great in a lot of ways. I got turned on to Howard Zinn and anarchism and crass and all of that. It's still deeply important to me in a way, but there was bad stuff too. The scene here was always kind of two scenes right on top of each other. One was the straight edge scene, the political kids, the food not bombs people. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I got bored with them and started running with the other guys. They were punks because they believed in nothing. They bust up DIY shows, start fights at the vegan coffee shop. I had a lot of rage in those days, and every week there was a new enemy. I'd come home exhausted and covered in blood, and my parents would freak the fuck out, which now seems like a truly reasonable response. My whole childhood, they trade off Teacher of the Year. They were so good and so loving, but they weren't great parents. They were so busy chasing after the problem kids, they never really had time for me. So I made myself a bigger problem than any other kid in town. But when they tried to help me, I said, go fuck yourselves, and locked my bedroom door, which led to them removing my bedroom door. So then I just decided to leave home. A group of punks from Boise came through, and when they left, I went with them.
Whoa.
I didn't ask my parents. I didn't even say goodbye. They were still working when I left, but every weekend they'd take these huge tours of the Northwest looking for me. Checking out any punk show they could find, but the kids I was with didn't really go to shows, or at least not the kind someone outside the scene could find. We spent a whole November with these sovereign citizen guys in Montana. We all got jobs in a cannery in Alaska and got fired after a week. But every weekend for 2 years, my parents would go out looking for me. This next part I pieced together after the fact. One Sunday, they were coming home from one of these trips. They must have been exhausted. Maybe they'd been fighting, or maybe they fell asleep. I don't know. But they veered into the other lane on the Hood Canal Bridge and got plowed into by a semi-truck. Their car flipped over the side and into the water. The divers never found them, but their license plate was part of the wreckage on the bridge when the cops arrived.
Oh my god. Liana. I'm so sorry.
Thanks. So, yeah, you see, when you know all the details, it's even worse. I abandoned them and it literally killed them.
I'm so sorry.
There it is. There's the look. Pity and fear. I'm the fuck up with the dead parents.
I don't think you're a fuck up.
Maybe not now, but you will. Everyone else does. The people I went to school with, family, friends, they cross the fucking street when they see me coming.
Liana, what happened to you was a horrible tragedy. But it wasn't remotely your fault.
Yes, it was. I was angry and stupid and selfish. I took actions, reckless actions that resulted in the deaths of people who loved me. People who I treated like absolute shit. I didn't drive the truck, but if it weren't for me, they would have been at home grading papers. they'd still be alive.
You feel guilt
Yeah,
and anger?
yes. When I was away, I think I always imagined I'd return here. I thought I had time. So when I got the news that they were dead, I felt this overwhelming wave of rage. Rage like a fire burning through my heart. It's still burning.
I think if they could speak to you, they'd want you to forgive yourself.
You don't know that.
I know they loved you. I know they never stopped looking for you.
Harry, stop. I've been down this road before. I goes nowhere. I just hate myself. I do. I deserve it. I deserve so much worse.
It's not your fault.
Yes, it is. And if I ever forget that, if I ever let my guard down, it might happen again. Or something just as bad, something worse. I need this anger. It is the only thing that keeps me good. And I have tried very hard to be good. To be better, at least, I volunteer, I donate to charity, I don't do anything harder than weed. I probably smoke too much weed. I know that within me there is the potential for great harm, great evil, and I keep watch on it. That is the least I can do.
For them.
For everyone.
Maybe you're right.
What?
Maybe if you let your guard down, you would fuck up. Maybe you'd make a mistake. Maybe a big one.
I would. I would!
But if you did, it wouldn't make you a bad person. It would just make you a person.
You don't know. You don't deal with this. You don't carry it around.
I think you're a good person.
I'm not.
You're a good friend. I mean, how many times since the accident have you let yourself be a friend? You've carried this around for 10 years. I think you deserve to let it go.
I can't. It is the last thing connecting me to them. If I move on from this... oh no.
What?
It all seems so reasonable in my head. I can't forgive myself because then they'll really be gone. I miss them so much.
Of course you do.
Wherever I go in this tiny, strange, boring, and beautiful town, they're here. The co-op, the high school, the marina, the fire tower, the lighthouse, the fort, everywhere. They were always telling me how lucky I was to be growing up around so much beauty, but I couldn't see it.
I think we all have to figure out what gifts from our parents we're willing to accept. Maybe the only way you could love this town was by leaving it.
Yeah. And I do. It took a long time, a long, long time. But I do. I love the way the fog rolls in off the water. I love how hungry the earth is here. How eager it is to reclaim anything humans lose track of. The weeds entangled in bike spokes, the moss climbing over old cars. Someday, when we're all gone, the whole world will be like that. Vines climbing over nuclear reactors, grass and then trees and then forests bursting out where there once were shopping malls and parking lots. Living somewhere this wet, this alive, this second reminds you that we aren't the only things living. We are fellow citizens with deer and coyotes and acre-wide networks of mycelium and trees older than the oldest person alive. And any well-developed forest. Nutrients are never lost, just recycled. And I don't know if that's spiritual or just science, but it's what I believe. And most days it helps.
Harry's phone rings. She answers it.
Hello? Mom, what are you saying? What? When? Oh, fuck. Okay, I'll be right there. I have to go to the hospital.
Liana and Carrie arrive at the hospital. The door to Meredith's room opens, and Judith enters.
Judith,
Hi, Carrie. What have you heard?
not much. My mom called. She said I should come here. What's going on?
Your grandmother has had a heart attack.
Oh, fuck. Is she okay?
She's stable. We've given her blood thinners and painkillers and are monitoring her condition.
Will she need surgery?
We're not sure. Once she's recovered a bit more, we'll try to determine that.
Judith,
Yes?
is she dying?
Not today, honey.
Can I see her?
Yes, of course. Beautiful dress, by the way.
Oh, fuck!
Carrie, it's okay.
I can't let her see me like this.
Or maybe.
Maybe nothing. I'll give her another heart attack.
So what, you're not going to see her?
No, I'll go home. I'll change.
Carrie.
Oh,
It's not now or never, but it is now or sometime.
okay. Okay.
They open the door. Meredith is in her hospital bed. Wilson is sitting in a wheelchair next to her, holding her hand. Olivia sits in a chair. She gets up and crosses to her.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. And hi, Liana.
Hi. I'm sorry to hear about your mom.
How is she?
In and out. We think she recognizes us.
She squeezes my hand.
That's a good sign.
We'll get through this, eh?
Honey, are you okay being alone with her for a bit?
What?
Wilson and I have to go fill out some forms. Judith said that even if she's not responding, she might still be able to understand you.
You can understand.
I'll be back soon.
Olivia wheels Wilson out of the room. Carrie sits in Olivia's seat and takes Meredith's hand. Meredith stirs. Her voice is weak.
Olivia, is that you?
No. Nana. It's me, Carrie. Olivia's child.
Carrie? My, we do look alike, don't we?
I guess so.
Same eyes, same nose, same hair.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Carrie's staying with us.
Oh, yeah?
God, he's such a good kid. So kind, so attentive, smart, and funny too. I just love him so much. Only thing is, he doesn't seem to like himself very much. You always set high standards, and that's a good thing. But you need to let him know he's doing all right. Okay?
Yeah, I will.
It takes a while to find your footing. That's normal. When your father and I had you, we didn't know the first thing about raising babies, or anything else for that matter. Looking back, it all looks like a grand plan, but it was higgledy-piggledy.
Thanks, Mom.
Of course, I don't mean to criticize. You were such a good mother. I was astonished. I'd say, I wonder where she got that from.
From you, Mom.
No, I know that's not true. I was stressed out of my mind half the time, and I think we were pretty old school. We read Dr. Spock, but we didn't really get it. That you had to talk to your kids, that you had to ask them about their feelings. I regret that.
You don't need to feel that way. Mom, you've been my best friend my whole life. You were always there. Every major decision, every turning point. always.
Really?
Yes, you were a wonderful mother.
Well, that's a relief. Now, what do you say we break out of this joint?
No, we can't do that. You had a heart attack, Mom.
What? When?
Just today.
Gosh, that sounds pretty serious.
It is.
We better do what the doctor says then. Are you sticking around?
Yeah. I'll be here as long as you need me.
A few weeks after that, Meredith got out of the hospital. And she didn't understand at first, but eventually she got it. The fact that Carrie was her granddaughter somehow lodged into her long-term memory. But a few years after that, she died. Wilson died the following year, and the year after that, Carrie got a job in Seattle. And I went out to visit a few times, but only a few. And a few years after that, we had a freak storm that flooded Water Street and caused millions of dollars in damage. And a decade after that, normal high tide was about 10 feet above street level. And I could swim through streets I'd walked through as a child, like the ruins of a shipwrecked civilization. The town moved on, though, relocated all the businesses to uptown. And the ferry dock moved to where the fire tower used to be. And a decade after that, uptown was an island part of the day, which just meant people started taking dinghies to the Albertsons. By this time, the mountains were bare most of the year. And one summer, the smoke from the wildfires got so bad, the whole town decided to unincorporate and disperse further east. Of course, some of us stayed here. And I died and was buried in the cemetery by the fort. No one was there to tend it, and pretty soon it was covered in moss and pine trees. And even though the trees held radioactive isotopes and microplastics, they still grew. And the atoms that once made up my bones and eyelids and skin and hair got passed through worms into soil and sucked up tree trunks into pine needles, and for the first time in decades, I got to see the sun. And then the wildfires came for us as well. And I became a part of the smoke cloud that circled the globe. And my atoms settled like snow as far away as Finland. And by now, to tell you the story of me, I'd have to tell you the story of the whole world and everyone in it. But one thing I can say, everything changes.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to take just a very short amount of time to bring our chairs a little bit forward, and then if you'd like to stay around, we're going to have a discussion with Miranda, the director, and Anne, our guest expert. So stick around if you'd like. Great. Can we have some house lights up?
I don't think so.
move it down. Move it down to the front. All right. Hi, come on up.
I have a chair. Yeah.
Here, let's put, can we put Ann here? Is this good? Do you mind if I scooch on over here? Oh, here, I think we're all good. Oh, are you good? Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right, come on in. All right. So most of you have met Ann. This is Ann G. Morgan. She's a dramaturg who just recently relocated here to Montpelier. So lucky us, we get to have her here at our festival. And we're going to just talk about the play a little bit. It's pretty laid back. We'll talk about the play, ask some questions, and go from there. So I'm going to turn it over to Ann and to Miranda, and then we can do questions.
Awesome. Hi, y'all. First of all, huge congratulations to all of you. That was extraordinary. And I don't know if we're still recording, but congratulations to Andy. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Andy.
right.
Thank you.
So, you know, this talkback moment and at a moment like this is a little bit funny, right? Because the play is partway through its journey. We're not gonna, this is not gonna be a talkback where the actors are asked how they memorized all those lines because it was a staged reading. So really my hope in this time is that we can all sort of share a conversation about the play, our experience with it, sort of process some of the themes of conversations, knowing that that we are, as audience members, we are meeting this play midway through its journey. I want to be really explicit that this is not going to be a critique of the play. This is really just about having a conversation. So I want to start, and this is for our artists, this is for our audience, this is like open floor, 1 to 3 words, popcorn, an image, a line, something that jumped out at you, something that struck you, something that you're going to remember when you're pouring your coffee tomorrow morning. Any sort of like initial impressions. Transitions, yeah. Memory. Yeah, you don't have to raise your hands. We can just call these ones out. Familiar stories, yeah. Right along those lines, yeah, absolutely.
Accepting oneself.
Yeah.
Time.
The image of oh gosh, what's
Mycelium.
the mycelium? Yeah, that's an image that's jumping for me. Great, thank you. Just wanted to sort of get
well cast.
well cast. Yes.
I can say that from familiarity of some of the cast members.
Excellent. Good. And I just wanted to like get these sort of like in the air to get us rolling. I want to turn now, if I can, first to you, Miranda, and then to our actors. When you first encountered the play, what were the things that made you lean forward and say yes to the play? What were some of your, you know, we the audience just saw it for the first time tonight. You've had a little more time with it. What were your first impressions?
I think what struck me was it wasn't just a single story, right? It was an interweaving of so much complexity, and none of it felt forced, you know. It just really felt real and raw in a way that was just like, oh, yeah, you know, like this material like this, thinking about what it means to be trans in 2025 in America under the presidency of Donald Trump and woke and, all of that stuff, you think, oh, it's going to be a story, but there was so much humanity in it, there's so much just vulnerability and tenderness, and you're in an intimate moment within a family, that's within a family, that's within a town, that's within a, it wasn't a story that was meant to like make a point, like, haha, it was, this is just a story. This is just anybody's story. This could be any character in a family story. And here we all together witnessing just the heart and the soul of what it means to be human. And to tell this story with so much on authenticity in a way that it didn't feel disingenuine. It didn't feel like we were being lectured to or we were being told how to feel about. We were just experiencing a moment. And that for me was just like, wow. Like, I just remember my first read, because I was a reader for tons and tons of plays, and just thinking, yeah, this is what makes a really good script. Like it's not telling me how to feel, it's allowing me to feel, and it's allowing the actors to be in a world. And there's just there's so much possibility. I said to Aaron, I said, this is not going to be the last time I work with this script. Like, please, Sandy. Yeah. I said way more than you asked me to say, but yeah.
I'm curious from our actors what some of your first impressions were as you encountered it.
I just remember liking the script right off the bat and thinking about how you guys did have 600 plus.
I forgot to
plays.
mention we had 600 submissions.
And
Score.
I just loved this play. The first 10 pages or less, I knew I want to do this play. There was no question. I loved the dialogue. It was funny. I loved the characters, and I was very interested in my character of Meredith and playing somebody who's, losing their mind. And it was a very, very poignant character to play.
I can put anybody on the spot.
I mean, it's just like kind of basic, but I feel like there's also a lot of familiarity to, like it's about a very specific time and place and town, but I feel like it has a lot of like, I mean, coming from like small town Vermont, it's a lot of the same kind of like very familiar stuff that they're talking about, and so it's interesting to see kind of, it's like a family, but then you have kind of people from all of these different lives and time, like in there, talking about the past and the future and the present. I thought that was interesting.
Sure, and you have the nurse who's the neighbor, and the two of you have they run into each other. Yeah, that sort of thing.
We talked a lot about our town.
Yeah,
as we were rehearsing, and I think there's a lot of similarities in the way that it approaches community, but in a 2025 way.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to bring you all in a little bit more. We've bubbled up some of the themes that sort of immediately sparked for you. I will now sort of broaden my invitation beyond 1 to 3 words. Are there any sort of key takeaways or this really made me think about my own experience with XYZ? We just sort of want to just invite a little open space from the audience.
Yeah, if you ever took care of a parent with dementia, it really disturbed me again.
Yeah.
So, as you said, raw. That's the best kind of year. And it was not pleasant.
Yeah, I agree, and at the same time, though, the importance of living in the present, because everything changes. And you can't hold on to what was in the past, you don't know what's going to happen in the future, but that idea of like, in this present moment, we are here together and we can connect with one.
Yeah. The interesting way that the play might bring up past experiences for us while also reminding us to live in the present, that sort of duality, right? And I think one of the things the play does so successfully is you have sort of 3 generations of presentness as well. I saw Danielle and then your hands.
Yeah, I think the fact of change and of transition and how that sort of like played through all the different characters. I was really fascinated by the mother and daughter conversation about how sure she was. That just felt so fresh and like I was getting to be a voyeur into some like a really intimate, real part of this conversation that we don't get access to because it's so politically charged that like we don't get access to the like nuance and the texture of the becoming. So that was really exciting to get to see on stage.
Well, I found it really, the connections between the characters on stage, which everybody's doing in multiple ways, but also I connected with every person on stage. There was a moment where I thought, oh, that's me. Like, I could connect with everybody. There wasn't anybody on stage that was kind of like filling in the role. And then in those connections, you know, sometimes more obvious, sometimes more subtle, but how they all echo each other and the relationships.
Yeah, that moment where Carrie sort of like quotes her mother to her grandmother, that, really powerful, sort of like echoes across the play. Yeah, Angela.
Related to that exact moment, one of the things that I think will really stick with me and that kind of like kept grabbing me back in throughout was the main character's sort of obsession with needing to be a certain way to pass and passing in the eyes of other people, and then to have them just as they are, wearing that dress that they felt comfortable in, to sit with the grandmother and be instantly recognized as their mother, a woman, like, you know, and being seen without having to be this version of themselves that they were projecting. I thought that was really powerful.
I think, I'm hearing everybody talking, I've like just now honed in on, I think what I've found most appealing is that these are really messy conversations that everybody is having, but every character is showing extreme compassion, especially Carrie, who is actually like, in my opinion, this is completely my opinion, clearly, because I haven't dealt with dementia, so like maybe I should backtrack. What I was gonna say was that her situation seems to be the hardest, like societally. It's like the most intense, but that's not something I should say. But the point is that the compassion that she has for everybody else is so strong, and then that's reflected in all the other characters. And I don't think you see that a lot, especially in like television. You see these messy conversations, and they're so charged and they're so angry, and everybody's yelling at each other. And in this play, it's like constant, just I'm gonna try again. Now we're gonna have this conversation, and it's like that's so cool.
That mother daughter torch of compassion got carried by the 3 generations really beautifully. You sparked it, passed it on, and then passed it on. That was a really beautiful part of it. Everybody got their moment to be completely 3-dimensional. There was nothing flat about any of the characters. That was great. I really enjoyed the depth, and we just had a table read, so the depths at which you were able to go just with the It's remarkable.
I witnessed this with a couple of different roles when my father died of Alzheimer's. And witnessing many years ago and witnessing our family back around and step into it, push against all the things, the storylines, many things. It's complicated and it's also, there's a lot of beauty and opportunity in all of these things. And then elder parents and grown children, and it's all every day and witnessing. And there are two of my colleagues on the stage now that I get to work with every day in public school, 180 days a year. And we witness a lot of this, not the dementia part yet, Adrian. And what we help to grow kids and they help to grow us. We all grow together, and where it's all this idea, and then other lovely humans on the stage too, that we grow our children together. And knowing the elders, you two of us have elder parents, many that I know. And it all is relevant. This is everyday life. And we forget that sometimes. And it's all opportunity to step forward and remember who we are as we forget. And this is an opportunity to go back and remember who we are. And to undomesticate ourselves, all domestication that we grow up in. So peace to all of you. It's a beautiful thing. We're all here together.
Yeah, something that really stuck with me the moment where Carrie is talking about the dress and this idea of a conflict of like the idealized version of ourselves that we see in our head when we always are like, I want to become this, versus like what we project that others see us as right now, which is, I think a lot of times people will be like, oh, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But then Leanna brings up like, oh, I've been dressing you up like in these dresses since I've known you for my whole life. And it's like, oh, I've actually been doing this my whole life, and I am further along than I think. And just that idea of like being able to embrace that you are who you want to be versus getting caught up in putting yourself down because of how you think the world sees you. That was something playing in my head.
One of the things I appreciate that will stay with me is the reality that we all are working to understand the experience of trans folks, but I think we're missing the experience of the parents of trans folks who are frightened for their children, who want the best for their children and are stuck having to transition themselves in ways they never imagined. And it's been hard to have compassion for the parents, particularly when they act messy. And when they say things like, I can't believe you're doing this for me. But they're suffering too. And I thought this play went into that territory.
Joy, and then I'm going to look us in another direction.
Just
Yeah.
Briefly, I was deeply moved by the depth of Carrie's loneliness and how the character was able to be so sensitive to other people despite her loneliness. And maybe the loneliness was part of the motivation to demonstrate sensitivity and to experience that acceptance. I just was really zoomed in on the loneliness and the kindness that the character showed. And then when Carrie reconnected with Liana, that spark that your character brought back to Carrie to kind of bring confidence back, and that spark maybe helped reconnection and improve rapport with her mother. That boom, 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 came across really strongly. And then just lastly, a thing about Leanna was this, because I was wondering, like, how is this going to end? You know, what are we going to see? And this powerful transition, how Leanna kind of took us to this ethereal level in a very unexpected way, that left us all, you know, wondering about a much bigger picture. So I love that element added as
well. We've talked about a couple moments in the play where Carrie is wearing, there are a couple different dresses. It feels in some ways like the town is a character in its own right. We hear a lot about how beautiful the town is, how folks relate to the town. We saw a stunning stage reading, and the audience we all sort of imagined our own individual productions. Miranda, if I were like, here's $1 million, and what are the things that you weren't able to do in this environment that you are most excited to do? And then I'll ask actors if there were any sort of moments that you were like, I want to do that with full tech.
I feel privileged to know Port Townsend, so I could see a bunch of stuff.
And I just had to imagine.
I think before I answer that, sort of dial back in that Erin sort of offered the opportunity to sort of break out of a traditional stage reading and sort of try to do more. And I feel like I pushed against that pretty hard. And I felt like what I wanted most for this moment was for the script itself, for the story itself, for the writing itself to just be the thing, right? For us to really see that in all of its just exquisite, like every choice was so deliberate. And I didn't want a single thing to detract from just being present with that. You know, I think I primarily direct a lot of musicals. Music is just, there's something about music that creates a world for me. So I think a lot about like what a score for this would be, you know, like how would music sort of enter into the picture to create a world, right? What the sounds of Port Townsend would be, what the sounds of these spaces, this living room, the sounds of a hospital, the sounds of, you know, the fort, and so I think, you know, I don't know if I can get to the $1 million. I mean, I'm still like imagining like what my next version of this is going to look like. But I think as a director, I really like to work a lot with sound and color, and layers and levels, and is there a space that can really create pockets of worlds that can be fluid and moved through. As a director, I've been exploring a lot with projection, and what that can do in terms of just allowing things to not be as static. And, you know, in musical theater, I put a lot of things on wheels. You know, like I like things to move at choreography and move in space, or I like everything to be in place and for the story to move through the spaces. And so, you know, I feel like this isn't a scene kind of show for me. You know, this really feels like the surreal blending of time, of space, of moments, of emotion. And I think it feels like it would be a lot more bare. You know, there'd be a lot more. I don't work a lot in a black box, but there's something about that, you know, like, and I just keep going back to just the textures and layers of sound and color, and and what projection and whatnot could allow with just a few small pieces and worlds. Yeah, I'm I've been leaning into this, and I don't, I feel like I sit with a show for sometimes years, before I ever put it on the stage. Like, Daniel just got done doing Rent with us at the Barry Opera House, and I sat with that show for 3 years before I put it on stage, right? And it, what we created was nothing like I had in my first image of it, and like the kids say now, you just gotta let it cook. I get that, because I feel like that's the way my brain works, So I think ask me in 3 years, and I'll have a maybe different, maybe exactly the same, but I'll have a clearer sense. But yeah, I just think fluidity is, like water, like waves, like sound, like air, like mist. It's just, yeah.
I think that's actually what struck me about the play, is the fluidity of things, and it could almost be just called transitions, because it's really the subject matter is transition of gender, but as we have just been acting the play every time, I realize everybody's in a state of transition of some kind. They may be in a transition from thinking of the world in one way to another way. And it's just what you were saying, fluidity of things is really an important aspect of it. And, that's how I can see it produced as well, with kind of a minimalist set, and just keeping things open and fluid from performance to performance, or from rehearsal to rehearsal, so that you're constantly kind of swimming in this in the action. But one thing I don't understand is why it's called Victorian Vape. Maybe somebody can elucidate me on that, but that I'm sure there's you have an idea?
Oh, I was just going to say, I Googled it about a couple hours ago, and there is a vape shop in Port Townsend called Victorian Vape.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, I might be wrong, but since a lot of this I think is pretty autobiographical, I don't know if there's some connection there. But yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of a deeper meaning to it.
And also just another thing is the memory thing is also strikes me now that I think about it, is people's memories are different. Like the whole thing about, I remember, you remember playing dress up with Carrie, and you thousands of, or you mentioned it, it happened over and over again. He has no memory of that. And so we think of the older folks going through dementia as the ones who are struggling with their memory, but there's a lot of that in the play of people having different memories of the past.
Yeah.
And it's not just the people who are, have Alzheimer's. So I found that interesting theme that emerged too.
The playwright handled the emotional intelligence of that really well.
Yeah.
Because it was never mysterious. It always got explained in some interesting way. So props to the developmental psychologist mom.
Yeah. I like that it's kind of a surprise. I mean, she really doesn't come across as that at first. And then when she says she's a psychologist, it's a laugh line. I mean, I think that there are little moments like that which are really...
I love their feminist moment, like, that was great. Love that.
What it makes me think of too is when you were talking, Miranda, is the vulnerability of these characters on the stage. And I think any kind of staging that you're imagining was real. That's what I kept hearing from you, is that these characters, I think that's the beauty of this piece, is these characters are so honest and so vulnerable. And even honest and vulnerable about things that they're not handling well, or they don't know, or they're, putting their foot in their mouth and they're, all sorts of stuff, but it's just it's very raw and vulnerable. And I think that any kind of production design that supports that, I think is really important. And also, it's so connected to the earth itself, and then that's brought in at the end in this stunningly beautiful monologue. because I too was on the selection committee. And when I read this play and then got to the monologue, it took my breath away. I just thought, it was unexpected, and it stands out and for all the right reasons, it brings the earth itself as a character that is transitioning and is changing, and everything is growing, and just like really, and then you can kind of go back and think of all these other ways that it was tied in that maybe you didn't even notice as you were first seeing and reading it.
The fort was a colonial space. It was taken from the Quinault Indians, so you're representing a Pacific Northwest Native point of view that's beautiful. I really think that's in the undertow there.
Okay, so one more hand, and then we're going to wind it up.
On the idea of this transitions, like, yeah, I really appreciate that everybody goes through transitions, but you don't, right? And I appreciate that you're the only character that doesn't until you die, and then there's this like so everybody's going to transition, like, no matter what. It's just a matter of when. But anyway.
Well, I think that her character transitioned before the play happens. Like that to me was like when
I do think there's
the tragedy.
I do think there's a bit of a moment. I know we're gonna wrap up, but like because she has this whole thing of her parents having died and like her not being able to get over that. And there's like one line in that last big group scene, or like just like a little moment where Carrie's like, I can't do this, I can't talk to my grandmother, and I have the line of like, it's not now or never, but it's now or sometime. Basically, being like, I couldn't resolve all of this stuff with my family, and I was never able to say this, but I can pass on my knowledge to you and, appreciate what you have, kind of. And I think that is like a transitional moment for her to be there for her and everything.
I can see that there is still so much turning around in your brains. I see on your faces you're so hungry to talk about it, and you should, but not in this context. Some of you have had a long day. Some of you have traveled very far. I like to keep my talk backs to a tight 30. That's all for this talk back, but please bring us together to start conversations, continue these conversations as you head into the lobby, as you head to wherever you're heading. Thank you again, Andy, Miranda, Aaron.
Good. Thank you everyone for a wonderful first day, wonderful first reading. Thank you to the folks who came in to help make this happen, to Miranda, to Anne, and just have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good job.
Yeah, bravo. And big love to Andy. Thank you, Andy.
First of all, that was beautiful.